Podcasting from somewhere in the San Francisco Bay Area, the birthplace of Bruce Lee, the iPhone, and the bendy straw. This is Ruel's Running Podcast, a podcast about running, health, family, play, and an NSNG lifestyle. And now, here's your host, Ruel.
There was a dream a million miles away. There was fire in
Amazon.com. You know, I won't be surprised if more and more stuff that I shop for, buy, and get shipped to my home comes from Amazon. It's just a reality, right? And if this is your reality, go to ruelsrunning.com, click through to the Amazon banner to get to Amazon. Why am I asking you to do so? Well, it is a no-cost-to-you way, if you like listening to Ruel's Running Podcast, it is a way that you can help the show out without spending more than you've already spent while shopping at the good folks at Amazon.com. So help us out. Go to ruelsrunning.com, click through to the Amazon.com site, and shop, connect, and enjoy. Hello everybody, it's Ruel's Running Podcast. What am I listening to? I have no clue. Hey everybody. I am out of my mind. Thank you. How are you? I'm back with coffee. Oh gosh. I don't know if junkie is a harsh, too strong of a word, but I do enjoy coffee. And that's not bad, considering there are other things worse that I can get into. Welcome to Ruel's Running Podcast. I am your host, Ruel Abadam. How's it going, folks? If you are new to the show, how's it going? Stick around for no other reason than maybe you're just bored out of your mind at the DMV and you don't want to be staring at people who are annoying you. And if you are a return listener, I'm glad you got out of that DMV and you're welcome. I'm happy to help. You know, the family took a trip to kick off the kids, the boys actually, the spring break, and we went to Disneyland and we had a wonderful time. Yeah, we did a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and we split on Wednesday. Well, we got there Saturday, but we didn't go into the park. And what we're trying to do is take advantage of the annual passes that we got at the beginning of the year or sometime around the holidays when we took a trip. And we've held off from getting that annual pass for a long time. Didn't make any sense back then. But with 3 of the kids, because for the new listener, I have 3 kids with my wife, my beautiful, lovely, loving, awesome, gorgeous wife. Yeah, we, with the kids and the family, now it's starting to make sense. And it's just so expensive to go to those places, right? You know, they increased their prices and all that good stuff. But the kids are getting, there's a bunch of kids, they're getting older. They're not free like they used to be going to things like this. And the good thing is that as they get older, the trips mean more to them and they're more independent and we get to do cool stuff. So yeah, had a good time. There were some not so good times. For example, we stayed outside of the park and we stayed at a place that had a kitchen because that's the way we like to roll with all the kids. And I've talked about it in other trip chat episodes, we get the kitchen, we stock up with some food, and I make breakfast and I make extra so that there's stuff for lunch, stuff for dinner, should we need that option, because maybe there's stuff that the kids won't care for, but having stuff homemade, if you will, is always a safe bet. So we can always pack that stuff, take it on the go, and the park allows you to take food in, which is awesome. Anyways, so we stay out of the park, and we have to make the small walk around if we want to go around, or if we want to go to the park. And if anybody's familiar with Disneyland, Anaheim, there's the occasional, what do you say? Not bullhorn, kind of like a bullhorn, megaphone type guy, stands in the corner at one of the intersections and carrying a sign about God and Jesus and being saved, which is all good, except that it's not good when you have the guy just sort of reciting a bunch of memorized stuff, with a loud phone, megaphone, microphone, whatever the heck it's called, blasting behind you as you wait for the walk signal at the crosswalk. Right? So you're just trying to cross and get away, but he's also crossing along with you, so he's never far away, blasting you with his message. And there was one time, there's no thought, because he's has to carry a sign and his equipment, and he's got to think about something impactful to say, that I think he's got to cross the damn thing and not get run over. But all of that, and doesn't realize that he's blasting his message to little ears, and that really frustrated me. And I had to stop the family to allow him to pass. But there was that fraction of a second where the old me, I've never talked about the old me before, would have just knocked that thing off of his hand with my kung fu foot, stomped on it, give him several dozen, 100 choice expletive words, and had a good time doing it, because I'm not taking any of that. But guess what? The current me has to take it, because I have little eyes watching me, and don't want him to learn to go off the handle. At the drop of a megaphone click and blast. That doesn't even make sense, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, just, come on, guy. Be mindful. Little ears. Then fortunately it wasn't the case where there weren't any like infants and newborns crossing in little carriages and whatnot, because that, not a ton of us, but several of us were just like shaking our heads, like how inconsiderate, how idiotic it was. Yeah. But I tried to not let it get to me, so try to forget about it. But it was really, really annoying. So yeah, that's the not so good stuff. But man, the kitchen in the place we stayed was awesome. It's kind of a thing. We brought the Vitamix. I make smoothies for my wife, and later on in the trip I had to enjoy some of that the smoothie, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Why do I have to tell you in a bit? I'll tell you now. We stayed for a few days, and at some point in the trip, it got pretty warm, and it got nice and warm, sunny, and actually got hot. and it was a day where my wife took my oldest to do the Jedi Academy training thing, where he becomes a Jedi in training, and he gets to take on one of the dark side key personnel, like Darth Vader or the Seventh Sister, if for those who follow Star Wars. I partially do. I was with the other two kids at Toontown. And then went from Toontown to the Small World, or It's a Small World, or Small World. And, we get some special treatment, and we get to cut the line, and but still standing out in the sun and the heat, and for some reason extra bright. And I think it may be because the castle is pretty sparkly and bright, and I just start losing a little bit of my vision. And that's like, it's not like I'm going, blind, but yeah, it's kind of like I'm going a little migraine aura-y, if that's a word. And I was like, oh great, last thing I need is to get a migraine right before this ride. And automatically, and I've talked about migraines in the past, and my migraines, and I'm trying to think, like, what would have caused it? What would have caused it? What did I eat? What did I do? What did I not do? And it always flashes back to, did I just eat too much fun food again? And now I'm like suffering, and maybe. And so we get into our boat, and I'm starting to like lose it. I'm trying to keep it together. I have two kids with me. And it's now at a point where the photophobia is starting to kick in. The fear of light, the light sensitivity, and it goes hand in hand. You get the aura. Things aren't focused. They're and it's just a clear reminder, like a clear indication that you're gonna get some major pain after all of this clears up. That's just the life of a migraine sufferer. So, I'm I keep my shades on, and I'm closing my eyes, and I'm holding on to my daughter so that she doesn't, and keeping my other kid close so that he doesn't stick his arms outside the boat and gets injured. And we make it in, so then the ride moves forward. We're going through the ride, and we get into the castle, and it's dark and it's cool, and the whole thing starts, the music and everything's fun and happy, and it's perfect. It's cool, it's dark, I can just keep my shades on regardless, and my eyes, and it's a good ride. It's a good, calm, relaxing ride, and the kids are occupied and entertained, and it's a break from the heat, and it was just enough time to sort of like halfway pass out, from, and it's not new. I've seen people pass out in that boat because it's a break. It's a perfect break. If you ever go to Disneyland and you need some time to just sort of snooze, get on the Small World. And my daughter was a little exhausted as well, but it was enough time for my vision to clear up, to get over the most debilitating part of getting a migraine. So we're done with the ride, and what happened next? I think my son needs to potty really bad. So we're in line. We leave we get out of the castle, and our boat's sort of in line to stop and for us to offload, and we're still waiting in line in the boat, and my son's like, I need to potty real bad. And he's grabbing his crotch, and he's wiggling his body, and there's a kid behind us who's laughing at him, and my son's like, "Hey, don't laugh at me, it's not funny," and they're just kids, and I'm just happy that he didn't wet himself. He could have. I said, "You're just gonna have to hold it. We got to leave safely. We can't just jump out of the thing, and I don't want you to make a mess in the boat." So, it's like I was well enough to handle that, deal with that. I sort of recovered a bit. We got out of the boat when it was time to get out of the boat, and we rushed. Didn't make it to the bathroom. When you leave that thing, you either make your way into a gift shop or you take a different turn and just go downstairs and leave. We went through the gift shop, and then we ducked on the side of outside the gift shop, right by the rails and the hedges, and I just picked him up on over the rails where he could stand and be out of sight, and my daughter and I just sort of covered him and let him pee in the hedges. You're welcome, Disneyland. It was a hot day. Those plants needed that moisture. And then we, after that, just went straight to our stroller. We have a double stroller with a little skateboard attachment. Got everybody on and made our way to the Jedi Academy training thing to watch Big Brother do his thing to take on Darth Vader. And along the way, my daughter passed out in the stroller, and so it was a good time. It's always good when you can have one kid just sort of check out for a little bit, give me a break. Especially the youngest one, who's often the most needy. Yeah, took some good video and some photos of the kid taking on the dark forces. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. And for those who prescribe to NSNG and you wonder, how do you do Disneyland and stay as NSNG as possible? Well, this time around, it's kind of like a common theme. I'm a little bit more lax. I'm a little bit more forgiving of what I'm doing when I'm enjoying time with the family like this. But yeah, I generally still am mindful, and it's easy for me because I always have to start the day with coffee and some fat, so it's a heavy cream, and that'll keep me good. I don't have to have anything throughout the day. But on a trip like this, when it's hot and I'm carrying my daughter who's getting heavier, she just wants to be picked up time to time, and you're pushing a double stroller, it just starts to become work, right? So my energy expenditure is a little bit more, the heat, the workout. So, when I do get something to eat, there's places that serve burgers, and you just peel off the bun and you have the meat, and just do that. Meat and the cheese. At the California, what is it? Not the Hotel California. there's a the Grand California or something or other. There's a little shop there called Whitewater, and they do this awesome burger with carnitas. Do that, right? Find places like that. To me, the safest bet is to always do the burger. Peel off the bun, have the meat, the cheese, and if you can get avocado like this carnitas burger did, and the carnitas, awesome. And, always get more coffee. There are various places that have coffee, and if you're not a coffee fan, more for me. Yay! Early on, years ago, 4 years ago, when I started NSNG and do Disney trips, I would pack coconut oil, avocados, and little individual packets of cream cheese in a cooler, keep them at the hotel, and I would start the day with coffee and coconut oil, and if I get hungry, I would get breakfast at the hotel, grab some bacon, a side of cream cheese. I would do that type of stuff, and so that my body would get used to being full and running on fat. Now less and less, just I'm more, if you've tuned in recently, I've been experimenting with extending my fast through the day and all that good stuff. So, yeah, let's do that. And if we eat out of the hotel, same general idea. It's just find a better burger than a Disneyland burger. If you can get some steak, if you're a spender and you want to get some good steak, get it nice and medium rare. Get some butter, throw it on there. Have a nice salad or steamed or roast veggies. Just clean, no junk on it. And then always wash it down with a nice cup of coffee. Can you tell? I love my coffee. Huh? Yeah, and it gives me just enough fuel to keep on chugging along. But yeah, that's that. And the trip was fun. Along the way, we found a new place to stop, get food for the kids and coffee for me, and kids can play. It's an outlet mall somewhere between Disneyland and where we live, closer to Disneyland, but it's awesome. And they've got Wi-Fi, and they've got a play structure, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's our little secret. You're going to have to pay me to tell you what it is. Or you don't have to pay me. I don't have to pay you. What did I say? I'm out of my mind. But yeah. So that's enough of that. That's a whole lot of Disney family chat. No one cares. But I did talk about NSNG a little bit and how to generally deal with it while you're out in some park like a Disneyland. You don't have to eat the fun food all the time just because you're there. But if it's a rarity, be forgiving and enjoy. But if you're there for several days, know the risks. When you eat the fun food, you shouldn't do back to back to back to back because you may get a migraine or something, get sick, blow your pants, blow your underpants, who knows. Yeah, so today I'm going to run. It's an awesome day. I'm going to get more sun if I can because it is a sunny day. Because after that Disney trip, I've got the, what do you call it? I've got that sunglass tan line going, so I take off my sunglasses and I'm wearing a mask. Like the reverse raccoon look. Yeah. I got some skin damage on my arms. It's waking my skin up so that I can enjoy more sun as the spring takes hold and the summer rolls around. So I'm trying to enjoy that. And I'm kind of sniffing because my nose is a little irritated as it often gets when I take my daughter to preschool on a certain day of the week, and the gardeners are blowing stuff, using the blower to blow stuff, right? Just blow stuff, and stuff gets in the air, and I can smell the grass and all the other cut stuff that they've messed with, and then it just annoys my nose and all that stuff, and I end up getting a runny nose and reacting and sneezing and all that stuff because I don't often snort grass clippings. Yeah, so that's that. So gonna get a run. Hopefully I can get some good pics going, and I'll share them on the Facebook page and other stuff. And yeah, that's that. Don't forget to hug your family, eat something delicious, and go run something. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Ruel's Running Podcast with Ruel. If you like what you just heard, share it with your friends and your enemies. Also, be sure to check out the site over at ruelsrunning.com. This has been another Coffee with Heavy Cream production. Join us next time for another silly show of Ruel's Running Podcast.